Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here with another first impressions video from the Monster Hunter Wilds demo, and today I'm taking a look at the weapon that I have played the absolute most, I've put the most hours into throughout the entirety of the Monster Hunter franchise, and that is the Greatsword. Greatsword was the weapon that first inspired me to pick up Monster Hunter when I was but a wee lad of like 10 years old and I saw the Monster Hunter Freedom box case at a Target. And for most of my time in the series, Greatsword is the weapon I have put the most hours into. I have seen it go through a lot of different changes to get to where it is in Wilds, and so I have some thoughts and feelings on where it is in Wilds. I am actually not sure how I feel about Monster Hunter Wilds Greatsword. There's a lot of things I really like about it, and there are some things that I'm not a fan of. Of the weapons I've played in the beta so far, and of the ones I've done videos on, this is the one that I am the most iffy on if I'm going to play it a whole lot in the actual base game. I'm going to start off with what I really like about it, and that is that it still feels like a powerhouse. You can see just from the length of this video, this is the shortest hunt that I did in the beta, and yes, it's against a Chotacabra, which is not the toughest monster in the beta, but still, going from, 8 minutes with the Hunting Horn and the Gunlance to like 7 minutes with the Greatsword, that's a significant time decrease. So it still feels really powerful. Landing hits still feels incredibly strong, and it makes you feel like you are a powerhouse. And that I still really love. Another thing that surprised me, I was really only doing it to try and get footage of the power clash for the Greatsword, because I said I wanted to try and compare how they looked, Gunlance, Lance, Greatsword, and it feels really good to block with the Monster Hunter Wilds Greatsword, which is not something I was expecting. Usually, in every other version of Greatsword, blocking is just sort of an afterthought, something you do maybe every now and again if you really need to get out of a bad situation, but for the most part, you either roll or you dodge tackle through everything, but it feels really, really good to block an attack with the Greatsword, and if you do a perfect guard, you can go right into a charge slash from that, in addition to the possibility of getting a guard clash, which just feels so cool and so cinematic and powerful and really, really scratches that me make big hit part of the brain. This is not my first hunt with the Greatsword like I did with the Gunlance, entirely because my recording software completely failed for the first 2 times I tried to do this hunt, so I got a little bit more used to the timing, and man, it is really satisfying. I am a bit mixed on the focus attack for Greatsword, though, so it is really cool looking, being able to, slam into the monster and then run along the side of it, dealing damage as you go. I think that's really cool, and one thing I've realized about the focus attacks that I really appreciate is how much they reward positioning. You can do the focus attack and run off a monster, and the second you stop making contact with it, the focus attack ends. But if you start at the back end, like if you wound a tail with a Greatsword, I think I would need to check on a longer monster, but I'm pretty sure you can just run all the way to the head doing the focus slash attack, and that reward for positioning is really, really, really awesome. And I think that is a good way to incentivize people to be more thoughtful with how they are breaking the wounds, how they're wounding parts, how they're initiating those focus strikes, rather than just spamming them. But it also doesn't feel as cool as the other focus strike attacks. So, I really like the positioning, I like the high damage reward, but I wish it were a little bit more, flashy. What I really don't like about the Greatsword, and this is personal preference, I know I am in the minority of Greatsword players when I say this, I've never been a fan of true charge slash playstyles. I know that it's powerful, I know that it is, really cool, and being able to turn your charge slash with focus mode is a absolute game changer. We unfortunately, Greatsword mains no longer have any excuse for us to miss a true charge slash or a charge slash anymore, so we're kind of doomed in that regard. But I have always preferred, personally, the crit draw playstyle of Greatsword. We're using the draw charge slash in order to, maximize safety and still deal good, solid damage. And Greatsword seems to be moving away from that playstyle a little bit more every game. And with the increased emphasis on blocking that I mentioned earlier, and the ability to turn your True Charge Slash with focus mode, making it easier to land, I feel like your weapon is going to be out a lot more. You're not going to be incentivized to sheath and get away as much. So unfortunately, I feel like the Greatsword crit draw playstyle is once again going to be kind of relegated to a very niche back burner approach, which makes me sad, but I also understand that that's the way that the weapon has been transforming, so, it is what it is. I just really hope there is something akin to Velkhana's Frostcraft in Monster Hunter Wilds, so that I can feel like a crit draw build is viable. In both Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, it was not until Velkhana got added in Rise, or until Iceborne, that I felt like I could actually do a good, solid crit draw build, and I hope that there is something in the base game that lets me do that. If not, though, I am really thinking I might try to do like a Greatsword guard boost, like tank heavy defensive build, just with how satisfying and fun it is to guard with Greatsword in Wilds. That's something I never thought I would say. Greatsword tank build. Oh, it could be on the horizon. But let me know what y'all think about the Wilds Greatsword. I very much understand I'm in the minority of preferring the draw slash over True Charge, and, well, that is what it is. I did not do any of the offset attacks in this video, in part because I'm not great at them, and in part because I honestly got into a groove of my standard Greatsword playstyle and forgot that they existed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't, and until next time, I'll see you next time.